You are starving because you overslept through your alarm and you didn't get to go to breakfast. But that's not too uncommon, because let's face it, as college students, we have late nights and the early morning hours come way too soon. But then your 11 o'clock professor wouldn't dismiss class 15 minutes after it was over. So you're about to bite into your BLT when your friend runs up. Are you really going to eat that? With swine flu going around? You would reply, yeah, I can't wait till it's over to eat. Then they reply, no, you're eating pork. Don't you know pork and swine, pig, all the same thing? This story brings me to my topic and to one of my points I will be discussing later. In addition to this story, I would like to give you some statistics that were surely to get your attention. The most recent figures for the H1N1 influenza in the U.S. indicates that almost 34,000 lab cases have been confirmed, and there have been 170 deaths. Then I'll briefly be discussing my research from the Center for Disease Control, the CDC, and the World Health Organization, about what the H1 influenza, or better known as the swine flu, is, who it affects the most, and how it can and cannot be spread. First of all, as stated by the WHO, the H1N1 influenza was first detected in the U.S. in April 2009 and was signaled a pandemic June 11, 2009. A pandemic is, as defined by dictionary.com, is a disease prevalent throughout the entire country, continent, or the entire world. It is the first pandemic to occur since the emergence of HIV and AIDS in 1981. And this H1N1 pandemic has rapidly established itself and is now the dominant influenza strain in most parts of the world. In fact, the WHO has stated that 95% or more of the total flu cases are being caused by H1N1. And it is known as the swine flu because testing shown that many genes in this virus were very similar to the ones circulating in Northern American swine. But after further studying, the CDC has found that this new virus is actually very different from the swine, or the virus that circulates in North American pigs. It only has 2 genes from the virus that normally circulates in the pigs found in Europe and in Asia, and the bird genes and human genes. So scientists actually refer to this flu as the quadruple resortant virus. Next, I will be discussing who the H1N1 influenza virus affects. According to the WHO, the age groups affected by this influenza are generally younger. To date, the most severe cases and deaths have occurred in adults under the age of 50, with deaths in the elderly comparatively rare. This is a huge contrast to the seasonal flu, where 90% of severe and fatal cases occur in individuals 65 years of age or older. The more severe case is rarely seen in a young, healthy individual, such as a child. Individuals with underlying conditions such as asthma, diabetes, kidney disease, heart disease, neurocognitive and neuromuscular disorders, and pregnancy are also at increased risk. And I don't know about you, but when I don't take drugs to suppress my immune system, but I know when I'm at school, stressing about all my responsibilities and homework and assignments, it's not always at its strongest point, and I'm sure you can all relate. Lastly, I am going to discuss how the virus can and cannot be spread. The CDC proclaims that it can be spread the same as the seasonal flu, such as from person to person through coughing and sneezing, with people carrying the influenza. And sometimes people can become infected by touching something such as a surface or an object with the virus on it and then touching their mouth and nose. So my take-home informative message is do not touch your face after you've touched anything, because they've always got something on them. The CDC affirms that you cannot get the virus by eating pork, such as I mentioned earlier, or any food for that matter. And no research has been completed saying that the virus can be transmitted by conventional drinking treatment processes. Actually, the purifying process kills the bird flu, which is an H5N1 influenza, and most likely does the same for the H1N1. In conclusion, I have briefly told you what the H1N1 influenza is, who it is, and how it can and cannot be spread. So don't be scared to eat pork. The swine flu is just a common name that actually has little relevance to the virus. But I would also like to remind you of the statistics that I found. That the most recent figures in the U.S. indicates that there have almost been 34,000 lab-confirmed cases and that there have been 170 deaths. Also, the officials at the CDC estimate that more than 1 million Americans have actually contracted the virus. So I hope I've done my part to help inform you and so you can keep yourself safe. Thank you.